We hope you enjoy The Magicians, Out of Time by Rachel Lawson.
It's dark tonight. I hope we aren't seen, a man said to his partner in crime. It's like the old days we climb in a window and pray not to get caught, said the thief who was known as the chameleon to his partner the cat as they stealthily walked through the garden of their mark. The room is the third window on the second story, said the cat, examining the building. The chameleon tested the strength of a lattice, leading to it going up the wall. This should work. I'm surprised people are so careless with security, the chameleon said, laughing. They climbed up the lattice, trying not to be pricked by the thorns of the rose that climbed up it as well. The alarm is off, or it should be, but I'll disable it, said the chameleon. He cut the alarm wire and jimmied the window till it opened. They climbed in the room and looked about it. The safe is behind that painting, said the chameleon, pointing at the only picture in the room. Okay, who will do the work, you or me? Asked the cat, who was as skilled a cracksman as the chameleon. It's my turn, you did the last job, said the chameleon, who walked over to the picture, removing it, handing it to the cat to put down. The chameleon put his ear to the safe, cracked the lock, and opened the door, removing the contents from the safe and putting them in a backpack on the cat's back. Got it, let's go, said the chameleon. The next day, the police were swarming around the house. Midnight, what happened here? The police sergeant asked. A robbery, said Blake, the coroner who helped out the police on other cases. I know, Midnight, said Sergeant Xander Drax, frowning. Do we have any idea how it was done and who they were or why they were here? They were copycats, said Blake, who was otherwise known as the superhero Blue Midnight. Copycats, said the sergeant. Of who? The cat and the chameleon, Blake said. What, they must be old, said the sergeant. Not old dead, Blake said. That's why I say copycats. How do you know they were copycats? The sergeant asked. The CCTV caught the robbery. They were young men in their 20s. One was dressed as the cat burglar, the cat. His partner was dressed as the chameleon, the jewel thief, and safecracker, said Blake. My magician's assistant Max is the original chameleon's grandson and protege. He should be on the case. Yes, said the sergeant. I'll call him here, said Blake, who then shouted, Max, we need you. Out of thin air appeared a disheveled man holding a toothbrush in his PJs. What do you want, Blake? Asked the man. Get dressed, Max, you are a mess, Blake said to the man. Right, said Max, who waved his arm and appeared well-groomed in a suit. Blake looked at him oddly. What Blake? Max asked. Toothbrush, Blake said. Max saw he was still holding his toothbrush. It disappeared. Why did you call me here? I was brushing my teeth, Max said. We need your help on a case, said the sergeant. What sort of case? Murder? Asked Max. No robbery, this place was robbed by a ghost from the past. Actually, your past, said Blake. What? Said Max. The cat and the chameleon, said Blake. Can't be, Granddad is dead and so is Uncle Mike, said Max. I know, Blake said. Someone dressed up as them to rob this place, said the sergeant. Why would they get copycats? Asked Max. We don't know, said Blake. What did they take? Asked Max. Money, jewelry, and papers, Blake said. What papers? Asked Max. Business papers, said the owner of the house was standing with them. What were they? Asked Max. Mostly IOUs. I'm a moneylender, the owner said. Max looked at him and felt a sudden disgust. The owner of the house looked like a pen pusher. Judging already, Blake said in Max's mind. Sorry, Max said in Blake's mind. From what I've read, he is more of a bureaucrat than you take me for, Blake said in Max's mind. Are Granddad and Uncle Mike still in the other world? Asked Max in Blake's mind. Yes, said Blake, also known as Mortimer, king of the Grim Reapers in Max's mind. You two talking in telepathy again? Asked the sergeant. Oh, I forgot you were there, Uncle Si, said Blake to the sergeant. Did someone see them? Asked Max. Blake showed him a video on his work tablet. What is it, Max? Asked Blake, seeing his friend's eyes widen. I know them, said Max. Who are they? Asked Blake. Michael and Maximilian Black, said Max. What the sergeant said. Are they related to you? Blake asked. Yes, Max said, but they shouldn't be here. What do you mean? Asked Blake. I saw photos of Granddad and Uncle Mike in the past, that is them down to the voices, said Max. I just figured out this case, snapped Blake, frowning. A dimension away, a man was watching them in a magic pond. He gulped and said, oh no. He was watching them. "Tempest, have you been messing with history again?" Blake said in the pond. Tempest stepped out of a dark swirling vortex in the room with Blake and the others nervously. "Whose he is he your brother?" asked the house's owner because there was a family resemblance between Tempest and Blake. "No, my meddling son, the Lord of Time, the timekeeper Tempest. The man behind this crime," said Blake. "I see what he did, Blake," said Max, realizing what happened. "What did he do?" asked the homeowner. "He took the young thieves from the past to rob you," said Blake. "What? That is impossible," laughed the homeowner, thinking it was a joke. "Not for him, he lives in the tunnels of time," said Blake. "I want to meet them," said Max, pleading. "You'll meet them later," said Tempest. "How? Not in the afterlife. I'll not go there, you know I'm a vampire," said Max. "Spoilers," said Tempest. "Why did you bring them here and turn off the alarm?" Blake asked. "I wanted to stop a blackmailer," said Tempest. "A what?" asked the sergeant, looking at the homeowner who was trying to look calm. "Who was being blackmailed and how?" asked Blake. "Mr. Harvey's debtors," said Tempest. "How?" asked Max. "I cannot go there as it will ruin the lives of many people," said Tempest. "Why, they were only IOUs," the sergeant said. "Not all of them. He had people watched and got dirt on his clients to extort more money from them," said Tempest. "Where are the papers and things taken?" asked Blake. "Maxim and Michael fenced the things in the past," said Tempest. "The papers I burned there are some things nobody should know." "We have no evidence," said the sergeant. "You have me," said Tempest. "Are you giving in to the police?" said Blake. "No, I was a victim," said Tempest. "You took out a loan from him?" Max asked. "No, he was blackmailing me," said Tempest. "Why?" said the sergeant. "I killed a man, Mum's killer. He found out and has been blackmailing me since he found out," said Tempest. "What did he want from you?" asked Blake. "For me to get dirt on people," said Tempest. "To blackmail people," Blake said. Tempest nodded. "I had to get back and destroy the letters I sent him," said Tempest. "So I enlisted some friends from the past to take them for me." The homeowner was thinking he shouldn't have reported the theft. "You are probably right, mate," said Blake aloud after reading his mind. "Arrest him," said the sergeant. A policeman grabbed Tempest, who looked sorry for what he'd done and didn't fight. "Not him, he's the victim," said the sergeant. "Arrest Mr. Harvey, he's the criminal." The policeman released Tempest, and the handcuffs on Tempest's wrists fell off. "What the—" The policeman said he picked up the cuffs and unlocked them to put them on, Mr. Harvey. "He admitted to murder and you arrest me, why?" said Mr. Harvey. "I know the story. He did it to save a life," said the sergeant, who looked at Blake knowingly. Blake looked confused. "I know who you are, Mortimer," said the sergeant in Blake's mind. "Mortimer?" Blake said aloud, looking like a stunned fish recovering he dematerialized. "Who is Mortimer?" said Mr. Harvey, hearing Blake. "You'll meet him later," said Tempest. The sergeant and Max laughed. "Who's he?" asked Mr. Harvey, being led away. "He's scared and confused," the sergeant said.